Hey, Stoney here with another game of Mechabellum. Sometimes a meta build could really win you the game in the later rounds. But what if you have the resources to get not just one meta build, but two meta builds? Well, this is the game for you. Let's go. At the bottom here, I am playing as a marksman specialist, and my opponent, Mechabellum, is playing as a rhino specialist. My MMR of this game is around 2000 and my opponent is in the 1900. I started off with tarantulas and crawlers, and I'm up against fans and sledgehammer. Now usually when I have crawlers with the tarantula, I like to put the crawlers sort of at the same line as the tarantula, so that way in case there are any marksmen, my crawler will always run in front of them. But occasionally I like to switch it up by putting them 2 squares behind the tarantula. So what it allows me to do is to get my opponent's units to target the tarantula first, hoping there's not going to be a marksman. And when their sledgehammers or arc lights are trying to bring down the tarantula, the crawler will sneak through and go around and actually do some damage. I was very fortunate that my opponent's unit position are very defensive. Therefore, I was able to save the tarantula from that very first logon. Round 2 will get the marksman. Lots of great cards. I think quick teleport makes sense. Subsidized Stormcaller is also very good though. Is a toss-up between subsidized Stormcaller or just quick teleport. The reason I wanted to have quick teleport is potentially I can build something here on the side. Maybe a combination of crawler and tarantula, maybe something else. My opponent decided to add 2 more sledgehammers, and now we have a line of sledges. This is a very telltale sign that your opponent is going to go heavy into carry sledges, so he's going to have another one in the middle and 2 more on the side, bringing up to a total of 7 sledgehammers. And once you know how to spot these signs, you should be able to set up your defense accordingly. The best way against these type of build is just to have a lot of scorpions. I've tried different types of defenses. I've tried like spiders with spider mine, range. I tried mass stormcallers, but the only real reliable way against mass sledges is scorpions. I even tried fortress, but it's just not as good, right? Like it's very rocky when you try those kind of units. If you know another very reliable way of defeating sledgehammers, leave your comment below. Fortress is being offered. I'm very tempted of taking Fortress, but also the triple Rhino is a good card to take. But in this case, I think I'm going to take the triple Arclight. Why triple Arclight? Well, I already have a role of marksman, right? And I know eventually I'm going to get into Scorpion, so my chaff clear is going to be relatively. Triple Rhino is not going to be great into a bunch of sledgehammers. Yes, they can maybe take out a few sledgehammers on their way in, but when they have range, and soon next turn probably going to get mech rage, your level 1 Rhino is just not going to. So instead, I want to use something that's a bit more useful. So triple arc like it is, and 2 of them are going to be guarding at the back flank here in case there's going to be a cheeky crawler coming in. My opponent took the triple Rhino, and I think he sold one of them. Yeah, he sold one of them, keeping just the 2 left. And he's using that money towards his sledgehammers, which I totally respect. And this is the way that I would typically play sledgehammers. We'll get the first tech on round 3, maybe the second tech on round 5. Or if you're really in a hurry, you can always take the second tech on round 4, take a loan, and then still get your deployment, and then on round 5, just to put down chaff, because you will need to have chaff. Alright, lots of crawlers coming down. We got a big rhino, however we got a orange man shooting at it. I wonder if it can survive. The Arclight? Yes, the Arclight will survive. And the orange man will just take care of business here. Awesome. All right, getting into round 4. Will my opponent take the second tech on round 4? Ion Blast against Sledge Lines is fantastic. My opponent could also try Ion on my units, but he's probably not going to get as much value out of it as I would. I mean, this Ion is going to get every single unit here. Probably even a marksman. It's going to be fire from my opponent just to get rid of 2, maybe 3 crawlers. I added a level 1 fan here to defend. And also a shield. I was expecting either fire or ion. And I just want to make sure that I get the side with the more snipers protected. Alright, even more snipers being added in just to deal with this level 2 Rhino. Oh. Iron Beam is doing a lot of work. Yep, gonna get 2 squads of sledges and also the marksman. Level 2 Rhino here getting stuck on crawlers without the support of the sledges. On the left hand side, units are kind of breaking through. Only got 2 marksmen remaining, but one of them is level 2, which means he gets the one-shot sledgehammers. And it is also standing within the shield. Very unfortunate tower timing. So this level 2 marksman is just going to kill everything. Alright, getting to round 5. We got unit drops here. Phoenix will be an interesting drop. Stormcrawlers are also an interesting drop. My opponent's sledges are already double tech, which means I need to put down scorpions ASAP. This round, I was able to put down some Stormcrawlers. But with 900 resources, I definitely should put down scorpions. One big problem right now is that none of my units have any range on them. My Tarantula will have to walk towards them. My Arclight will have to walk towards them. Right? There's no range whatsoever. I completely forgot about the missile cooldown, which means the missile is going to hit. It's going to take 2. Nope, just 1 marksman. Because it only deals 3,000 damage as opposed to the sentry, which does 5,000. But it's going to take 1 marksman, bunch of crawlers, and maybe 2 stormcrawlers. Alright, took my first tech, which is Arclight range. My opponent continues to add on sledgehammers and now up to a total of 7. And from now on, all he needs to do is to take levels on the sledgehammers. And just put down chaff. And this is the core engine of the sledge carry. It is a very deadly combination. If you're not really preparing for it, it can really grow out of control in just a few turns. So right now, it's actually a little bit late. At round 5, if your opponent is already double tagging to sledgehammers, you need to at least have scorpions on the board. If you do not have scorpions on the board, it might just be too late. So first of all, a huge round here from my opponent. Taking down my level 2 Stormcrawlers. They're just not doing enough. Lightning Storm is offered. It's very expensive though. For me, I think I just want to take Laser Sight and start putting down Scorpions. Laser Sight is a really good item because it allows the Scorpions to outrange your tanks. Without Laser Sight, the range between the tank and the Scorpion are relatively similar. I think tank is only 5 meters shorter than a Scorpion. So it's 135 versus 140. These sledgehammers do run EM, which means at any point my opponent could just take EM probably the next turn after seeing Scorpions on the board. And if they take EM, it's going to remove the range bonus of the 40 meters. and the Scorpion will have to walk 40 meters in order to fire the next shot. So that is a very brutal situation. Now, Scorpions are kind of tanky, but when your sledges are like level 3 and level 2 and you go into level 1 Scorpions, very risky. All right, triple Scorpion with range went down. 2 cheeky missiles give the Scorpions a little bit of an edge and allow them to lock on to the sledgehammers. One interesting breakpoint is that your level 1 Scorpion with a +1 tower can actually one-shot a level 3 sledgehammer. But if your opponent takes the armor upgrade, which is only 100 supplies, then a level 1 Scorpion will have to 2-shot the level 3 sledgehammer. So that's the interesting breakpoint. Generally speaking, at equal tower upgrades, your sledgehammer will always able to one-shot a your Scorpion will always be able to one-shot a sledgehammer that is twice of its levels, which means your level 1 Scorpion can one-shot level 2 can one-shot level 4, and so on and so forth. And this is the power of the Scorpion, right? Right away you see the board start to turn, but I am definitely not out of the wood. Improved Wasp gets picked. So earlier on, we talked about how having 1 meta is quite dangerous, but having 2 meta is even worse. Right now, my opponent has this very healthy line of carry sledges. They're now triple tapped, and even without the Wasp, I'm going to have a heck of a time dealing with these triple tapped sledgehammers. I have to be very careful on how I handle them. That means a lot of chaff. That means probably a few more Scorpions. Ideally, have close to the number of sledgehammers. I took shield on the fence because the sledgehammers aren't exactly great at chaff clear, especially into shielded fans. So I'm kind of forcing my opponent to go Stormcallers. But my opponent took improved Wasp with ground spec. He knows that right now I do not have adequate AA. And it's very hard for me to get more AA because the best AA I could get is probably Mustangs. But Mustangs with range are still going to stand in front of the Scorpions and they're going to get shot at by the sledgehammer. So it's not a great solution. And because I did not take improved Wasp, that means even if I take Wasp with AA, his Wasp is going to outrange mine by 20 meters if he chooses AAS. So there's no real winning situation here. I could maybe try a Fortress with AA guns, but I'm not entirely sure. Typhoon gets offered as well, and Typhoon themselves do work well into Wasps. So that's going to be the unit of choice for me. AA gets picked immediately, knowing that these Wasps are improved and they start with 70 meters of range. Kind of ridiculous considering they, in their natural state, they're only 50 meters. Continue to improve my board, continue to level up my Scorpions because I saw the level 3 sledgehammer was about to go to level 4, so I don't want to risk one-shotting or two-shotting them. And my opponent took the Sandworm, so now not only he's going carry sledges, he's also going warm Wasp. Another super deadly combination. Now, if you're in my shoes, what would you do? First of all, we need to tip the Ion Beam operator. This Ion Beam is absolute bonkers. I mean, it's just killing everything and killing Wasp as well. It's just a fantastic Ion here. Tanks are still walking in, they're getting damaged. Some of them are dying. So that was just beautiful. Never mind what's happening with the rest of the map, but that was beautiful. All right. The Stormcallers, they're still in the group, but I feel like they're getting less and less useful. Ooh, we got Sledgehammer and an improved Wasp here capture my tower. But I was able to get his tower as well, just in the nick of time. Man, EM is so annoying on the sledgehammers. Alright, round 9. Smoke Bomb gets instant picked. I expect my opponent to pick super heavy armor and put on one of his worms. But no, it's just going to be smoke. And I mean, these wasps are getting hella scary. Once this wasp take range, you'll be shooting at 110, which means, I mean, they still don't outrange Typhoon with AA, but with the Sandworm and now with Sandstorm, these Typhoons will have no chance of locking onto these wasps. So that's kind of scary. We got loose and also range on the marksman so that they have a bit more survivability. Sandstorm is popping out and it's just pulling my Typhoon in. Right now Typhoon has only 57.5 meters of range. Definitely not enough to deal with everything. And it gets taken out, which means the only units on that side that can actually kill these wasps are these Typhoons. And one of them is being locked onto by the Orange Man. Alright, we got Orange Man here. Moving over to the tower. Gets towered by my opponent, which means I'm not able to get to tower in time. And these wasps are just doing so much. And the Sandworm popping out. Sandworm deleting Scorpions. Still alive. Still taking down units. And bringing my opponent down to just 206 HP. Alright, so we're looking at the final round here. Oop. Let me just jump tank. Final round. Smoke gets offered again. And Nano Repair Kit was offered. So Nano Repair Kit was instant pick. I expect my opponent to smoke me once again because all my units almost are ground based. I took some Wasp of my own. I took AA on them. Because I figure I can no longer rely on the Typhoon to do anti-air. 3 packs of Wasp went down. Temp range. Temp speed. Upgrades my Typhoon. And that's pretty much it. For my opponent, now with range and level 3. So these wasps shoot at 125 meters. Alright, smoke goes down. Got lots of units stuck in the smoke here. Scorpion trying to break through the shield. On the left hand side, the Sandworm, now level 2, are just doing so much damage. And Wasp though, the ground spec. No mercy whatsoever onto the Scorpions. Typhoons are having a hard time dealing with level 3 Wasp. Remember, when you got improved Wasp, their HP also increases by 60%. So, yes, the tower. And there's still at least 2 Sandworm on the ground. I don't care how good your Typhoon's AA is, it's not going to be able to clear all these Wasps. And with that, it's going to be GG. So a very difficult battle here, where you have to face a Sledgehammer line and also a line with the improved Wasp and Sandworm. I just didn't have enough time to pivot. Because not only I need to deal with the Sandworm by leveling up the Scorpion, possibly taking double shot at some point, but also need to deal with the Wasp, and there's just not enough money to go around. I think if I were to play this one more time, I probably would just bite the bullet and buy a melting point. I feel like having that melting point to take out a sandworm a little bit faster might be the difference between allowing them to level versus just having my units push through. So very complex game, and I enjoyed every second of it. And I hope you enjoyed this video too. And if you like this video, I have another one just like this. And I hope to see you on the next one.
Prepare your tactics. Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress. The battlefield's alive with swarms.